All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome back. We got a few minutes to go before market open at 9:30. We got our ranges and liquidity levels marked. So a couple of things that we want to note. Obviously, our bias is still bullish. Okay, the daily bias is still bullish. We got a 4-hour bearish CRT and a 15-minute CRT bearish currently. And we have just taken out some nice 4-hour highs over here. Let's go over to the 4-hour chart here so we can make sure it's the right wick. Okay, so right here. Right, now this was previously the all-time highs that we created on Monday, okay? And so this is now potentially an area that price is going to either bounce off of and continue higher from, or we'll see it go through, right? We'll see it close underneath. So we'll see at the 10 o'clock level if we get a close underneath. And then we'll see if we get a reaction back to the upside. And so we want to see it close back above. If we get a close back above, we're likely going to continue to go higher. What we want to see is if price is going to react to our 4-hour order block down here, right? And there's also a tiny imbalance right here as well. So I can actually extend this to this wick here, right? And so this is kind of a big point of interest, right? So notice how this sits just underneath this level as well. So there's a good chance that we get a reaction here to go higher if we do go higher. If we don't, then price is going to continue close under, and then we'll see price go further down into the range, right? And then we'll see probably, it retest the midpoint or at least go lower, or maybe even come down for this liquidity that we have been building, right? And you can see that we have been building a significant amount of liquidity as we go up and up and up and higher, right? And now the thing is that we've got this key level right here, which is our 30K, right? We have nothing else to the left to reference really besides old highs and these like big figure levels. Okay, so we want to see what price is going to do, today to see if we can get up there, first of all. And it may fake us out, right? Come very, very close, and then we get a big, massive reaction like we did, at other levels like that before. So the direction is still bullish. I'm still gonna be looking for reasons to buy today, right? I'm still looking for reasons to get involved on a move to the upside here to try to get to that level, as long as I'm getting my confirmations, right? So I got a 15-minute bullish confirmation now just on that 9:30 candle close. Okay, and we'll see if we get price to come and react to this level. You can see that that is the level, the all-time high level. And it looks like we just fell short of this low here. So nice potentially equal lows that we could trade through. All right. All right. How's my YouTube crew doing? Hi. I don't know how to say your name, but thanks for the greeting. All right. Let's take a look at the candle close here. So we're going to be waiting for the candle closure on this to let us know if we're going to be looking to take a long here. We'll sit on these 1-minute charts. We've got our 15-minute projections over here, so we can just kind of see how we're going with that. We got a nice divergence here at this low. Here's our New York pre-market low level, our pre-market high levels all the way up here. Okay, we're getting potentially a change of character right now on the close. Perfect, right? Now we'll see if we get a continuation up. Looks like we will. Right, and so I generally try to avoid trading the actual open, right, 9:30 to like 9:45-ish moves, because they tend to be manipulations, even though they tend to move, obviously, because it is the open market and the volatility is high. But it's a very high chance that you're going to be manipulated or swiped if you're not careful. So we'll see how this kind of plays out. I want either end of the range here to be swept. If we're going to continue higher here, I'd want this level to be swept into a point of interest. You can see we have plenty of points of interest here, right? This just happens to be the 4-hour OB and the imbalance that I marked. Let me mark the imbalance first. So that is the smaller target. So I want to see if we at least respect that. If we do, then we might not even need to worry about the entire order block here. But that section right there, right? That tiny imbalance right there, if we can get a price to tap into that level and continue higher from that, that would be ideal. Or if we see a divergence, which we do, but only from this wick here. And that is a pretty nice move up. All right, let's see if we come back to this change of character / OB here at some point. If we remain bullish. So look at that reaction level, right? From the all-time highs, the sweep of the liquidity from Asia and London here into New York. Change of character, internal sweep. Our model happened right here. Just happened to be right at the open, so. But you can see here we get the sweep, right? We get the move away. We get the retracement. We get the internal sweep here. We get the close above, and then this would have been the entry with a stop below the low, below the psych level, 35-ish points, and then you can see now we have a beautiful 2R playing out. Well, let's see if we can get a retracement and a continuation at the 45 marker. If we get a continuation, this candle will be bullish. We'll get a retracement back into the range, and we'll see if we can get an internal sweep for a continuation. Previous daily high is being retested. Quite a large candle, but first candle, could usually also be a manipulation. If we do not stay above this previous daily high, if you notice, we have gone through it already at the open, right? And then we came down below it, and now we're retesting it. So this could be bearish, right? If we don't stay above the structure here, like say above this New York high level, or previous daily high, day open level here, then this could be a huge manipulation to go short. We have all of this liquidity sitting up here, right? You can come up and sweep any of that and then come back down. So ideally, I'm not really looking to just jump in, right, on a big impulsive move. I gotta wait for a price to kind of show me the structure. So 15-minute looks good for a move up with this candle being bullish, but notice how we left, we left some equal lows here, right? And we're still really relatively high up in this range. So even if I use this as my low and this is my high, okay, you can see that we have not really come down to the equilibrium yet, right? So we could still come down a little bit lower here and trade into these areas. This is ideally what we want to see. Now, of course, it could go from this area here, but I would like to see it sweep some internals first if we can, unless we get a divergence here. I mean, we're getting a divergence here, but it's with this low, right? It's not with this low. So if we had a divergence with this low or this low, then that would be different. Then I would be considering this as already taking internals and going higher. And then if we had swept into this 4-hour imbalance as well, so you can see it's still open and sitting right there. So I really would like to see price come back into that level and react to it if we can. If not, no worries. We'll just have to wait for confirmation here above previous daily high and the New York high. All right, so we did get a close above that high there on the 1 minute. We did tap into 600, and we're getting a little reaction at 600 there. Did take some of these internal highs. This one was just swept here. Let's see what that does. Okay, I'm getting diversions fired off here and still staying underneath that high. So now if we do get a retracement and it starts to come back, that'll be the high of this range. It doesn't look like it from here though. But if we do get that to roll over and give us the high end of the range, what we want to see is if price is going to respect that level, right? The previous daily high level and the day open. Where's that 4 hour? Yeah, there we go, right there. It's all the way down here, right? So look at that reaction from previous week high, right? Nice big old spike up. We got still about 3 minutes to go before this candle closes, but it looks very likely that we're going to get a big bullish close. Okay, so we're going to be looking for continuation. So next candle will close above previous daily high, New York high level, and then we'll leave ourselves probably a big imbalance or some sort of imbalance. And the change of character is here. So what I want to see basically on this continuation is the next candle be sort of like a smallish consolidation candle. And then we'll see it tap into this imbalance, this change of character here, retest the previous daily high, and then continue towards our high-end targets. All right, that is ideally what should happen. First target, of course, is just going to be Asia highs right here. So this is around 700, 690, 700. Okay, but this is the structure we'll be looking for here. And we're probably going to get a close above this high as well. So that'll be further confirmation, right? And look how strong we are pushing above. And we can see the order flow on the 1 minute also respecting bullish, as you know, price is not even, you know, we're coming back and touching these bearish candles and just basically keying off, right? Not even closing below or going below at all. Shallow retracements, down candles respecting price and pushing price higher. Okay, let's see what happens in the next minute. On this next 15-minute close, I'd like to see it close above the high that we swept here, and also above this 600 level would be good as well. And then, like I said, the next candle just kind of hovering around here, then we come back into the imbalance, and then we see a push up. 4-hour candle is going to be bullish as well, as you can see, with this sweep, right? So if we look at the 4-hour structure, we have a nice 4-hour sweep of the internal low and the previous candle, trading back into this imbalance, right? And back into the top of the previous all-time high. Closing above, that's going to give us a nice bullish CRT bias going into the 10 o'clock, right? So from 10 to 2, we'll expect, you know, wherever this candle closes in the next 15 minutes, we'll look for a retest of the level here and then a continuation higher. All right, so 15 minute just closed. That was a nice bullish close. Not much wick at the top here. You can see the momentum is still carrying through. So I hope we get some kind of pullback here. Man, this just took off. All right, 15-minute change of character is here. It's basically right at previous daily high. So we have confirmation of the direction with this candle closure. We want to see price retrace back. Hopefully we'll form some sort of internal liquidity that we can sweep, and then we look for a trade back into the imbalance that will inevitably form on this next candle, which is going to be this area right here that's already been shaded. What a move. Opening move here. 200-ish points. Okay, next high here breached as well. Tell me, yeah, it should be. I mean, what do you mean the bracket orders where you put the order on and it puts your TP and SL automatically on the chart? That shouldn't have changed. What are you seeing different? Yeah, if you don't have it saved as a template, then yes, you have to set it up again. Wow, look at that reaction. Retest of the imbalance and then immediate push back up. So if we get a closure above here, I think this could keep going, but I mean, I would like it to retrace so we can get some sort of retracement going. So this retest here potentially could just keep going higher, right? We could see price go higher from here. We did get the reaction to the, so here's the reaction. You can see the imbalance got tagged, right? And then we saw reaction away from it and the close above. Close above was, I mean, technically it did close above here, but we can see it's kind of still fighting around that level. So if we lose this here, for price to come back here, then obviously we're losing a lot of that momentum. But we ideally, if this is going to continue higher from this retest, we do not want to see price close back below here, right? And you can already see prices doing that. So hopefully this is where we get the retracement, because we want to see a retracement back into these levels here, right? We want price to also create some sort of internal swing that we can sweep. At the moment we have this here, but this is not really a good one. All right, and now we're seeing that divergence fire, and we just saw a big drop here, so I think this is going to be run through. We still got about 7 minutes until the next 15-minute close and the 4-hour close, and the 1-hour close for that matter. Let's actually take a look at the 1 hour and see if we have anything worth noting. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if we hold above this or not, because that level there is significant. It's the premium of this current range that we're in, and it's also, internal sweep of the bearish move. So if we get that sweep and the close underneath, then there's a good chance we see price run down, right? There's this big imbalance here that we're looking for price to react to and trade up. So we're not going to take the short, but you know, we can entertain it if the short breaks this structure.
Hey Jeff, on the 1 minute on this on the swing below
Yep.
that you said that wasn't worthy, what causes it not to be worthy there on that swing
Which,
that you
this
were
one right
talking about?
here?
Yeah, I think that's the one you mentioned.
Yeah, because this one doesn't take any liquidity, right? It's just a swing low. It's not really taking anything. It's just there in the swing, right? Um, I can give you examples. I mean, we've had examples of that in the past where we take a. I'll see if it was. I think it was. When did we take? It was yesterday. We took the loss. No, it wasn't yesterday. It was Tuesday, right? Um, yeah, right here. Okay, so if you recall, Tuesday we took a buy setup right here. Okay, and what we did was we waited for price to sweep this swing here. It might not have been this swing. I think this was, actually, I think it was. Okay, so we took this right here. But you'll notice that this swing here, it's just like the one I just laid out, right? There's no liquidity over here to the left that it took. It's just a swing in the range. So although we did get the confirmation here, right, and we did get a little bit of movement, eventually it failed, and we took out a more relevant swing, which was this and this, right? And notice how these swings take out liquidity to the left, so they're more relevant. So like this one here, when we get the confirmation, now we get a move. Even though it does fail, this would have at least worked out. Our setup would have worked out here. So when we look for internal swings, like we want something to be a relevant swing, like a good swing, right? Not just something like that's just a swing low. It's in there for because it's a swing low. Plus, if I take this range, let's just say this is my low, and this is my high, right? You can see that that is still in the premium, so it's not really ideal either. We want something down here. So hopefully we do get lower and we form something that we do eventually sweep and then come back above, which will be better. So there's the move down, which I like. And now we have ourselves a range, right? So now we got this high to this low. I don't like that we have these lows so close to each other like this because it feels like we could come down and run them. And plus, also, this is stacked together with these lows right here. And then our 4-hour imbalance just underneath that. So, you know, I said I wasn't going to take the short, but it seems very tempting to do so. So let me see what this looks like here. Because now we have, all right, we're going to get a 15-minute bearish CRT on this candle closure in 3 minutes if we close underneath here. That's a pretty strong wick rejection into the premium. And even if we were not going to come down to here, we should at least get a decent movement down into the discount if we're going to look for price to come up anyway. So, I mean, we'll see if it just, you know, if it tanks at the 10 o'clock level here and we don't get a pullback or something like that, then we won't take it. But if it stays like this, relatively close to these highs here, and we get like a retest around this area, I think we can look for a short setup. So let's see what happens at 10 o'clock. 2 minutes to go. 2.5. Oh, this is a divergence with YM. That's interesting. So YM came all the way down here. And that could mean, you know, either that NQ is really strong, which it is, right? Or, you know, we see that there's weakness across the other assets and NQ just needs to catch up. And NQ might dump later. So we got to validate that by seeing if this divergence holds. If it doesn't, then we'll see it run through the low, obviously, and then we'll keep going. And then that might mean that NQ is actually delayed, showing delayed weakness, and that we will see it come all the way down here, which is another reason to potentially short. And if we see divergence up here as well. Okay, 3, 2, 1, last minute closing. There goes the divergence. Took that away. So here's the low. Here's the previous daily high. We still don't have a swing low in here yet, right? So we want to see price develop one and then sweep it if we are going to come back up. And on the next minute, right, you can see that this is going to be a bearish candle. We're going to get a bearish CRT bias on the 15-minute. So we can look for, like I said, potentially a short to trade down into these levels here. Well, this is melting through. Oof. So as quickly as we went up, right, take it right back. That's what NASDAQ does. Yep, we get our conditions to align. All right, so there's 10 o'clock. Let's go to the 4-hour here. So obviously, you know, it looked like it was going to be a bearish or bullish candle, right? Look how, you know, we were all the way up here at one point. So now we've come back and there's a huge wick. We've just taken out some internal highs, respected this high over here. Okay, so now we're going to be looking for internal sweeps. This one right here into an order block up here. Okay, so again, though, this one is not a swing high that takes out liquidity over here, but at least there's an order block, you know, sitting above it. So there's a confluence for that high. And then it's also sitting at that level where price reacted to, right? So we're going to see this as a failure swing here and price to roll over if we can, close back underneath the level. So we'll probably look for an entry somewhere around 620 short if we get the spike, right? If we get that sweep. All right, we want to see EQ tested, which is just now. We just flipped, right? And now we're in the premium, right? So now all we need to see is that sweep and the close below. If we don't get the sweep, I hope we get to see some divergence. But if not, that will be a shame. Not that kind of divergence. I want divergence up here. All right, so essentially the setup will be once we sweep the level, right, we get a close back below. When we take out this high, trade into this OB, and then we see price reject this level, right? And then we get a short. Stop goes above the OB, above the cycle level. You could be a little bit safer and put it above here, above the swing. And then we would aim for these lows here, but we would really be aiming for that 1-to-1, which would be right here initially. And then we can aim for those lows for the 2-to-1 and beyond. And for our buy setup, we would be looking for price to sweep out the low here, right? So tagging the change of character, there's an imbalance right here, this OB. And so that's still a possibility on our original range here, right? We're in a discount now. There's our swing, and then we look for price to sweep that and then come back up. So we've got two options. In line with the bias right now, at least the 15-minute bearish bias, right, on the candle would be for it to go short, but we can't do that unless we have that sweep. Or at least, you know, I don't want to unless we have the sweep. And then down here we have our discount if we're going to continue to go higher from that. There's the imbalance right here, so we sweep that level, take out the low, tap into the imbalance, and then see the reaction from there. All right, we got a little divergence here. We had the break below. If we can come back and retest this order block here, I might entertain the short if we can. Let's see, this level is 580, so let's see if we can get a retest of 580. And then see if we can run this low. If it runs a low, then so be it. Nice little imbalance right here also we can trade back into, so it works. So we wanted the sweep of this high here. We have an internal high as well here, and we can see that we have divergence. So we did technically sweep that on the other asset. And then here we have now price coming back to retest an imbalance, right? So I want to see if we get to 580. Retest that level, or we get a imbalance retest there. Let's see if we do it. I want it to respect the order block and the divergence that we got here. And this imbalance, obviously. Right? And now you can see we're at previous daily high again. This is the level that I want to see price either hold above or break below. If we're going to continue lower, we're likely not going to stay above, right? We're going to go below previous daily high. And we got the retest. Let's see if we can get above this high here into 580. If I take it now, my risk reward is shit, so I can't do it right here. You gotta wait for a retest so that I can get a better entry and a better RR. This is gonna invalidate the idea if we come back above here, right? So that's why my stop is here. But if I enter now, it's more like chasing price. So, and then I have this low here to worry about. I don't know what's going to happen after we hit this low. We could get a nice reaction to the upside, which is possible, right? We've seen NQ do that plenty of times. So just like this is the New York high level that we retested, okay, and then we close back below. So just like a normal setup would, we would look for price to come down and create a range for us, like a retracement, and then take out an internal high, right? So if this comes down and breaks this low here, it'd be the same thing. We just look for price to retrace and give us an internal high that we could sweep and take lower. This would further confirm if it continues to trade lower, like if we get a close below here, then I'm convinced that we're probably going to come down for these lows. So look at this. Here we go. Here we go. 580. Okay, so we retested 580. I want to see if it holds the order block, right? So we'll see if it holds the order block and confirms. Right, if we get this bearish candle here, risk reward is still about 1-to-1, looks like. So I wanted to stay bearish, of course, stay under the 580 here, and then we can take the entry if it closes as such. And then, oh, nope, look at that. Right at the end there, juked us out. Okay, let's see if we get the original sweep up here, because now we're looking pretty strong. Okay, we can still retest the order block and close underneath, right? That'll still be a reaction that I can look for. If we go through the order block, then I'm going to be looking for the original sweep of that high. And no reaction, no rejection. Yeah, okay. So we had a reaction to this imbalance, right? Traded lower. We had a divergence. We have a change of character. Okay, and then we have price pushing up now through this order block. So this is probably where we actually flip bullish, I think. Change of characters here. Imbalance retest is here. Previous daily high. Right, this is our original sweep level that we wanted. Pretty strong. Strong candle. We can wait for an imbalance and a retest the imbalance. Right now it doesn't look like we're gonna get our retracement here off of that candle. Or maybe we will. Okay, so now we have a potential bearish order block that's going to be flipped, right? We have an imbalance here sitting as a kind of a zone flip, right? We have order block here. So let's see if we can get a retest of this. This is the 600 level as well. And now we're above previous daily high. Our stop can go underneath the swing, but anywhere underneath previous daily high I think is good, underneath the psych level here at 50, as we don't want to see price come back to this level here or back under previous daily high really. So let's see if we get this imbalance to form on this candle closure, and let's see if we get the retest into it. Just looks like it's going to happen here. So yes, we got the imbalance. All right, now let's see if we get a retest of 600. There we go. Okay, now closure back above 600, and I am in this trade. Ten seconds. Looks like the entry is going to be around here. All right, stops about 60 points. Here's our 1-to-1. Okay, there's our entry. 611. Okay, and take profit's going to be at 669. These two levels here are important to run through. This high was the original high we were looking for the sweep, right? And then this level here is that level that we swept out and came back below. So we want to see both of those levels traded above and closed above, which would give us bullish confirmation. Okay, and I don't want to see price come back below either the New York high level or previous daily high level that we just traded back above. So it's in the market's hands now. Let's go. Take profit Thursday. Let's go. All right, once we get a closure above both these levels, we're going to set to break even. And we're just going to let it play off of that and continue higher. Three seconds. Ooh. So that level is still rejecting. Let's see what it does here. This is where the rubber meets the road. I just want to see an explosive run right through. Take out this high. Looking very good. We are now up 40 points. $670 is my target. All right, close above. Stop is going to break even. I'll just put it here, but you guys know that it's at break even. Okay. Yes, we are long on this trade here with our take profit right now here at 670. As long as price remains and holds above this level here and above this level here, we could retrace back into this imbalance. Which is perfectly fine. There's also another one just below that. Stop is at break even, it's protected, so if it does come back on me here and doesn't decide to go higher, then we're good. But yeah, let's see if we can get 650 here is going to be tough, right? That's going to be an area. Yeah, so this was a zone flip in the case that we were looking for price to hold this bearish order block right here, right? We wanted to see this reject and go lower. We were going to take a short here if that happened. That didn't happen. We went through it pretty aggressively, and then we came back and we rejected it, right? And so we took the entry off of the rejection here. And so this was, you know, resistance turns support. And so now I want to see price continue and take out the next draw on liquidity, which is this high, but I'm going to take my profit just before that because, you know, sometimes it narrowly misses the high and then it comes back down. So this is looking very, very good now. And it did retest the imbalance. Look at that retest, right? Nice push. Let's go. Take profit Thursdays. Let's go. All right. Just another 10 points. Come on. You can do it. Oh, it's gonna do this song and dance with me. All right, we're still relatively decent minutes away from the 10:30, right? So we still have about 6 minutes to go before the actual candle closure. So there's still a lot that could still happen in here. But this is a nice rejection. I mean, if we lose this candle and we come back below here off of that rejection, that would not be a good sign. Okay, let's see. Where can we lock in? Let's see, lock in. I mean, I don't want to lose this this whole thing. Like, I don't want it to come back and hit me a break even here, but we do have the divergence here. All right, I'm just gonna see what the next candle does here, because that is a very scary looking candle. Yikes. All right, let's see if it holds. This was the imbalance that it traded off of and went higher from. This next imbalance and OB here is where we could see, oh, we just got divergence at the high. Yikes. All right, so yeah, let's see what this candle does. I don't want it to create another imbalance lower, obviously, and my stop is at break even here. I hate to have to give this all back. Oh my gosh. Come on, stay above. 2-tick turnaround. Hold the order block. Hold the order block. All right, stopped out. That sucks. we had like 50 points. Gave it back. No worries. I mean, there was the divergence that fired. We had the change of character, right? We came back below the level. Okay. It's okay. Obviously, it happens. This could be a short. Right now, we did get the sweep above on ES, right? And so this divergence is showing as a lower high here. We can potentially get a short setup if this 15-minute turns bearish on the 30-minute close as well. Given this reaction here, right? Then we'd be looking for price to give us a, well, this would be our range. Okay, and then we'd be looking for price to short on some sort of internal high, right? So we have an order block and balance here. No fault on my own because I got greedy, I guess. You know, I had 50 points. I should have taken it. But oh well. All right. Zane, you closed out. Good job. Hopefully you got some part of that. Could call that a second leg of that structure. Yeah, this is, this could be the M structure now, right? And, like I said, there's all this liquidity sitting right here, here and here. It's very nice, right? And so if we do get a nice sell-off from here, I would expect that to go next, right? We have these nice equal lows here. We have these nice equal lows here. And we did take out, like I said, 4-hour structure. If we get a closure back below, look at that wick. Come back, right? Look at that wick. It's staying underneath that 4-hour high, right? So this could certainly be breakout manipulation, inducing buyers, right? And then we've got stops under here. So yeah, our target was to take out the high. I put it well below that, right? 670 here. The high is at 685, so I was like 15 points below, what we were looking for, and we still didn't get it. So, but we did get, you know, a nice decent move up. And like I said, you only need 30 to 50 points on NQ on any given day, right? So I should have just took the 50 and been happy with it. But it's all right. We'll get another one. Maybe not this session, but if the setup does form for a short, right, then the next candle closure in a minute or so at 10:30 is going to give us a bearish CRT bias. And then we're going to see if we get price to retrace, right? So we're already getting retracement, which is good. And then we just need to see an internal structure here at this level, right? When we got the closure above here, I probably should have just locked in underneath here, right? And see if price would just keep going from here, because obviously closing back under here means that, you know, we're going to get a move like this. So should have locked in here. That would have at least given me, I think, 20 or 30 points profit. But shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? We'll do better on the next one. Okay, let's see how this candle closes. We got 20 seconds. Obviously, looks like, well, I said obviously, but it may still close above this high here. And it would be bullish technically. So let's see if we get the closure underneath the high. And because it's so close, I don't think, yeah, so it's bullish. Okay, so if this is going to continue short, now I want to see price forming some sort of swing high here. I've got an imbalance right here. I've got an order block right here. I'd want to see some sort of swing high form right here. Okay, and then I'd want to see price sweep it into this imbalance like this. Tag it, and then we get the closure underneath. If you want to, you can wait for price to give you the change of character on this 1 minute like this, right? So we get the change of character here on this 1 minute, and then wait for the retest of that change of character for the short. That is okay too. If you don't trust this, right, because it may not, I mean, it could be bullish, could keep going from here. So if you don't trust this, look for price to react to this imbalance or this level if it gives it to us. I don't think it's going to give us a swing high because how close it is, but if it does, great. Right, and then look for price to give you the shift in the change of character. Okay, at this point right now, the reaction to this level and the change of character is going to be underneath here, right? So we see a reaction, and then we see a change of character underneath. So this would be like this. Right now it's doing this, right? So we tag this level, and then we get the change of character, and then we see a retest of this level, and then the move down, and then you can take the short from here, covering this move down to these lows. Awesome, Zane. I mean, it's something, right? Better than nothing. Nothing wrong. Nobody ever went broke taking profit, so good stuff. Okay, this is good. I like how we're staying just underneath here, right? So I want to see a pop up into that, tag it, and then come down. Okay, that is great. So now we do get our internal swing right here, hopefully. What I don't want to see is just to go straight down right now. I want it to kind of chop around here, come back up and tag it. So let's see if we get that. Oh, Caleb, nice. You locked in as well. Good job. Tommy, when I took the trade, I could only see the SL line, but I couldn't see the TP line. Did you? So, it's just one account, right, Tommy? It's not like. So you should be able to drag the TP line and the SL line just like you did. I don't know if you dragged the SL line, but you should be able to drag the TP line as well. All right, good. So we did get that swing. I want to see it come back up now and take this out and then come back down if we can. It was not there. It should be the same as your entry line, like on the same. Initially, when you put the trade on, your SL and TP is going to be right there on the entry line that you can drag up and down. I don't know. Maybe just try on the next trade if we do get another one. If not, you can always set it manually in the order book in the DOM. If you remember, just like trade of 8. Oh, here we go. Is that a tag? I don't know if it is here. 634. All right, there we go. Okay, 20 seconds to see if we close under. I don't really like the structure here, but I'm gonna let this one go for now because that's not really what I want to see. It's turning bullish. Okay, so we got imbalance, reaction. We're back at this level, right? Again, back at this level here. You can see the reaction at that level. Let's see what it does. If it, I mean, right now, it should keep going higher from what I'm seeing. We've got an order block here. You can see price is respecting the down close candles as we push higher. Man, where was my original stop on this trade? It was at 611. Yeah, my original stop was all the way down here, right? It was fine. So move my stop too early. Just let this play out. We had the divergence here, right? Change of character here. Change of character retest, and then price continued higher. So, could have technically entered here with the stop under here. We could still do that. I mean, if it comes back to retest this level here. But we're at a very controversial level here. So I think my stop was all the way down here, right? We were like well off of it. this was the original trade right here, 611. Stop was down here at 60 points, right? And now we're getting our TP. All right. So, I mean, same idea. All right. Next candle closure that retraces, right? So we're trading above these highs, above these areas here. We're above the all-time highs that we had traded above before. 480. Wait, where is it? 480. It's all the way down here. Sorry. Yeah. Right. So we've got plenty of upside momentum now. Once we clear out these highs, though, and the Asia highs, I think that we're in for a reversal. So just be careful. If we haven't reached those areas, then you can still look for, potential setups to the upside. If we haven't reached those areas, like if we respect this now and come back through, then we can look for retracement to go bullish. But if we take out these levels here, just be careful. 700, 720. Those levels are probably looking for price to come back and retrace a bit. But yeah, unfortunately, we took a break even today. Should have gotten a take profit. I mean, obviously, just moved our stop a little bit too early, micromanaged a little bit too aggressively, and it happens. But tomorrow we'll come back. We'll get another one, hopefully. This could still set up for a nice afternoon short if we do get above those highs and we come back in the range. But I would still be looking, like I said, the trend is still bearish or bullish, right? And we should still be looking for reasons to buy always, at least for now. All right, so we'll call it here. We'll come back tomorrow. Any questions before we call it? We'll do it again on Friday. Take profit Thursday. I mean, technically, if you guys got some profit, then you did get your take profit today. All right, 30K on the horizon. Let's see if we can get that between today and tomorrow. Yep. All right, no problem, guys. You're welcome. Jason, good to see you on the stream. All right, and yeah, if you guys have any other questions, just let me know. Or on the YouTube side, you guys can just pop a comment below, and that's it. We'll come back tomorrow and do it again. All right. Nice. Good job, Tommy. To many more. Okay, see you tomorrow, guys.